Hi, thanks for watching. I'm Alex, this is AMRC, and today I'll show you how to turn your UMX Conscendo into a night flying plane. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to check my other videos, because this isn't my first UMX plane. I've added lights too. Now, what makes this one different from most other UMXs is the fuselage halves are glued together, not taped like in others. And that makes it a bit trickier to work on it. To power the lights, I'll be using a balance plug extender. And we'll only be needing the two outer wires, the black and the red one. The others, I just remove the pins, and I'm only going to use the part that plugs into the battery balance port. When we have just the two wires left, we slide them from the battery compartment underneath to towards the receiver. Then we have to choose the LEDs. I use simple 12-volt LED strips. You can power them directly from a 3S LiPo. Nothing else needed. And this time I chose to go with blue. For a change, I usually use white or warm white LEDs, which I find most visible, but for this project I'll go with blue. And with 12-volt LEDs you can cut them. They have markings, usually after each 3 individual LEDs you can cut them. Just cut a piece that suits the size you need underneath the fuselage. Also at those cut points is also where you can solder. I've soldered 2 pieces of wire. I've used servo wire. Make sure you remember the polarity or use different colors. I used black and red to make it easy. Then I slide the wires through one of the openings on the bottom of the fuselage. It's a bit tricky to pull in through there, but once it's out, just pull it as much as you can, and make sure to leave more wire than you need, so you can cut it down later, instead of having too little and not reaching where you need to. After, I always like to check and see if my solder job survived, because I'm not very good at that. Again, I power the LEDs with a 3S battery, and if they light up, everything should be okay. After this, I'll connect the wires coming from the LED strip to the wires on that balance connector. I chose to use a GST plug, as that's what I had. Once that's connected, again I tested, but plugging the balance lead from the battery into the balance wire. And after that, when I'm sure it works, I start taping the LED strip on the bottom of the plane. I do it with the LEDs facing the foam. It's harder and makes some dents in the foam, so it will leave some minor marks if you decide to remove it. The benefit of doing it this way is that the LEDs will light up the whole foam, at least in that area, as opposed to having them facing outside, which is easier because these strips are self-adhesive. But in that case, you'll only see the LEDs if they're pointing towards you. And in the air, as you're flying the plane, there might be situations where you don't see the LEDs. That's why I prefer to have this glow. This is what it should look like. Now moving on to the wing, same. We measure the length of LEDs we want to use, cut it, then solder the wires in the middle of the strip where we have the cut or connection points. As with anything, measure and check several times just to make sure everything will fit. At this point I have the wires soldered. All I need is to put another GST on the end of the wires, and I can connect them straight to the 3S battery. Make sure they light up. Then connect them to the GST connector that's already wired to the other LEDs and the balance connector. Then plug in the balance connector from the battery, make sure everything lights up, and that's perfect. That's what we need. Next step is getting the LEDs mounted on the wing. Of course, as with the fuselage, I prefer to do them facing inwards, but you can do it however you would like. After using some clear tape, I also use some white electrical tape, and this is the end result. Now, the moment of truth. Put everything together and make sure it works. Besides the stock servo wires that need to be connected to the wing, the only extra step is this GST plug. You can use any other 2-pin connector. This is what I had handy. It's a bit long, but it fits in the space between the foam and that plastic piece that covers the receiver. Just have to make sure the wires are long enough. And once we have everything in place, just put in the battery, connect that balance connector, and voila, we have lights. And I know you can use lights from other UMX planes, such as the turbo timbers, and plug them in directly to the board. But the reason I choose to go this way and run it directly from the battery is just in case any failure of the electronics or the board, these lights will be shining for as long as there is some voltage in the battery. So flying at night, in case you lose it, you should still have lights and be able to find it. Now I already have the maiden video out. Make sure you check it if you haven't seen it. I'll have it linked. Thank you very much for watching. Any questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment. I'll be more than happy to help. Like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!